Let's fight wherever you're joining us from tonight. Let's fight. Pace and power, boots on the ground. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Share the live and smash that emoji button, folks. And do let us know. Don't keep it to yourself. Let us know where you're joining us from. Pace and power. Good to have each and every one of you, folks, with us wherever you all are joining us from tonight. We love having you guys here with us. And those of you, the technicians who've signed up for duty tonight, do let us know if you are receiving us loud and clear. Take that opportunity as quickly as you can to share the live, to smash that emoji button, folks, and do all the things you know we expect of you. Great to have each and every one of you here, folks. We're covering the Guyana teachers strike today. We're covering the issues that came out or were present there with that Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union special general meeting that was supposed to be on today, folks. That did not happen. We have the latest on that front. We did promise you that these were two major things we were following today, the Guyana teachers strike and that special general meeting there of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, and we are still following those issues tonight. Share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button. Joylyn Cook, we see you there, and Alicia Campbell, we see you as well, and all the other folks like Andrew Griffith joining us. Share the live, smash that emoji button, folks, and let's have a go at it. As I said, great to have each and every one of you here with us, guys. We all joining us. Share the live, folks, and as I said, smash that emoji button for us, with us. Please and thank you. We got the fight card set, folks. It's just some of y'all missing in action, but I see Grace Noel is here and Debbie Collins is here as well. Debs, great to see you. Folks, y'all know who I saw today in the flesh? In the flesh. Y'all know who I saw today? All right. You gotta know everything. Debbie Collins, how you doing? Pim. Debbie Collins, how you doing? You know who else I saw today? How are you? Glory to Chester, you on tonight. How are you doing? Who don't know? Gavin Holder, great to see you as well. And all the other folks joining us. We got to open up, folks. How are you guys doing out there tonight? Share the live and smash that emoji button. We got to open up tonight. Why is it the folks at the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, that management committee, are defiant of a decision of the High Court that special general meeting should have been held today at the Critchlow Labour College, but none of this sort happened. Folks turned up there, didn't see any movement, then some suspicious activities. Simultaneously, there were supposed to be centers set up across the country so that members of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union could cast their ballot, could be part of that special general meeting. None of that went on, folks. You open it tonight. As we start our program, we sat down with the one and only Trevor Ben, of folks who, among other team members, were tasked with pulling off this special general meeting. What happened? We sat down with Trevor today. Take a look and take a listen. Share. Please and thank you. Share. Anita Alkins, we see you there. Hazel Chase and Lennox. Eva Mattis, we see you as well. Share. Good, folks.
At the Critchlow Labour College at the moment, there are a number of members of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union who came out. I'm expecting that some arrangements would have been in place for the holding of a special general meeting. As you rightly said, the court ordered for the second time that a special general meeting be held. This is as a result of a petition made by members of the committee, members of the credit union. However, the members of the committee of management, some members of the committee of management have decided that they will not support this decision of the court.
Trevor, that's interesting. Even at that level, members of a union saying they're not going to abide by the decision of a court. This is not even a magistrate's court. We're talking about the High Court in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. That's what's happening here?
You're correct, Sherrod, and it is equally disturbing to many people to know that an order of the esteemed court can be thrown aside in the manner in which it is being done for the second time. As you may recall, in December 2015, on the second occasion, the court ordered that an SGM must be held and that 3 persons he appointed from the committee to be responsible for the management of the process leading to the SGM. You would assume that if the court ordered that 3 members out of a 12-member committee be responsible, that the committee will respect the wishes of the court, that the other 9 don't need to be involved. But it appears as though the committee is of the view that notwithstanding that the court ordered the 3 members to be responsible for managing the process, that they have to sign off on every aspect of the decision-making for this. So, for example, when it comes to resources, none was made available. We asked them in a letter at the beginning of the process in December 20th. A letter was sent, December 18th, sorry. A letter was sent to the both the chairperson as well as the CEO outlining what we require to have the process initiated. And those letters were largely ignored. In fact, at a meeting of the Committee of Management, my colleague, Patrick Mentor, read to the committee the letter signed by the 3 of us requesting the CEO to take certain action. And there is evidence in the meeting report, the minutes of the meeting, of what transpired, that we can make that available to you for you to see exactly what transpired there. That's on the 20th of December.
Give us a sense what transpired.
So there were 3 members who felt that the court didn't give us any authority to, for example, to approach the IT company, and that they will not be supporting the CEO taking any action without their approval, for example. So the CEO could not act based on what she said. She cannot act unless the entire committee approves whatever action we are requesting her to take. So in that way, we were not able to do a number of things that the court asked to do. One, to hire the IT company. The IT company is a very reputable company that has worked all across the Caribbean. I came highly recommended from a Jamaican colleague in 2021 when we first used that company, and which company was used to get them elected into office. So it's very disquieting that they would now turn around to have questions about this IT company. Nonetheless, the court order. The other thing is that they're saying that we are sole sourcing the company, the Trinidad company. Now, the court ordered us, so we have nothing. We have to abide by the court's decision. It's an order of the court that this company must be used. The company was first recommended and stated in the petition of the members, and the court agreed with the members that it must be used. So I do not understand why at this stage the committee is asking why this company was sole source. So things like that they've been putting in the way of the holding of the SGM. We were supposed to have meetings in all regions, for example. So the venues where the meeting was going to be held, they didn't show up. They didn't organize it. They told the staff too that they should not take any action unless the committee so instruct them. So the work to be done to organize the spaces in the region was not done. So our members decided that today people will turn up at the various GPSU office around the country and to ask questions of the office bearers up there, office holders up there, to determine what is the next step to do.
To determine what's the next step forward.
Yeah.
The Committee of Management seems to have an issue with your team managing the election. Why haven't the Committee of Management, with a court order, a decision of the High Court, why have they gone about independently setting up for a special general meeting that was ordered by the court on February 5th?
Well, I I can't answer the question on their behalf, but I know, for example, this morning they sent staff over here to register people. The only thing the management committee did was to advertise. They instructed the CEO that she could go ahead and advertise the meeting for today. So there was a notice in the papers, two papers, Stabrook News and Kaito News, on the 21st of January. Other than that, no other action was taken until today when we turned up here. There were two staff members who said that they were instructed to come to register the persons who were coming to the meeting. So I asked them, it seems something is wrong here. How are you being instructed to come to register people? And the management said that they couldn't participate because the CEO said she couldn't participate because she had no instructions from the committee of management. So why did she send you here today? So, but they were here for some time and then they eventually left. So the members are here and we decided to have a meeting with them to bring them up to date on what has happened and where we are, and possibly to discuss some next steps.
On that note, again, an independent body in the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, do you expect the government, now seeing these office holders flouting a court order, is going to step in some way? Number one, quote unquote independent body. And what are the next steps in your view?
We are discussing with our lawyers what are the appropriate steps to take. We don't have that agreed upon as yet. But I suspect before the end of this week, we will get some clarity on that. And once we have that clarity, we will let the public know what steps are going to be taken. But for the meanwhile, our members are really frustrated, as you see in the meetings. They don't want to leave. They keep bringing up all kinds of issues that they've been afflicted by over the last 2 or 3 years. And so they're very eager for this process to happen. Somebody called me from the US this morning asking me for the link for them to sign in for the meeting this morning as well. So there are people who are really interested in making this thing happen, but for the time being, it has not been facilitated by the Committee of Management.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ben. Is there anything else you want to tell us about this process as it's unfolding today?
Well, I think that members should know that although this is a very lengthy process so far, we've been back and forth for the last almost 2 years, since I believe May of 2022. I think it is worthy that we have gone through this process. It's the first time this has been done by any member of any credit union in the entire Caribbean. So this is precedent setting. And I believe once the dust is settled and the court has had its final say, we will have precedent to follow going forward. So I believe, although it is long-winded, there are some benefits to the community, not only the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, but to all credit unions in the Caribbean, because they have something that they could look to as a benchmark going forward. It is the first time that ordinary members took their credit union to court like this. And it is interesting to know that at every phase, the members won. The court ruled in favor of the members. In 2022, the court ordered an SGM for October. That was flouted. That order was flouted. In December 2023, the court ordered SGM. And as we hear now, that order has been flouted. What the committee did instead was went to court to get the court to stop this meeting from happening and to appeal the decision. And the court said, no, we're not going to stop it from happening. We're not going to give you a stay. And even that didn't affect them. They're waiting for the appeal to come up. And in the courts in Guyana, because of there are a number of cases in the courts, these things don't run as quickly as you would like. So I would like to appeal to our members to exercise some patience. We know that you have been frustrated by all of this, but I believe at the end of the day, there's a good that will come out of this for the credit union, for all of its members, and hopefully we will be able to rectify all of the issues once the dust is settled.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Trevor.
Yep. There you have it, folks. There you have it. That was Trevor Ben walking us through the paces on that special AGM that should have happened out of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union today. And that union is being led by Karen Van Slightman Corbin. Karen, your name Colin. I remember the day when the people put Karen out of the Ministry of Tourism, and so many of us took to social media to express our disgust. Stood up in defense of Karen Van Slightman Corbin. We didn't know what we didn't know. As Maya Angelou says, well, we still knew nothing. This is the end result now. Currently, Gang of 9, they were the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, and we're going to be bringing you more on that, folks. We see some folks still gathering, and we don't want to have to repeat ourselves, but we got so much on the strike today by the Guyana Teachers Union and teachers nationwide, folks. Oh my God, you should see teachers. I didn't even know we had all those teachers. Well, folks, we can be coming to some of that, but let's bring you up to speed very quickly with a couple of things. Not plenty, just a couple of things as we hold for some of your friends, your neighbors, Defies set, land and arrive, folks. A couple of things we're following, folks. International, very quickly, around the world. Look, story now. They're telling us that King Charles III has been diagnosed with cancer. They haven't told us what kind. Oh, soon you come into a little something. Soon you start going up in life. It's always something for Hamburg. Like they send something for Charles. Like they went Guadeloupe for Charles. King Charles, diagnosed with cancer. They tell us Harry's coming in from the US to be with his father. Folks. But God. That's it from the international news, folks. Look at what we're tracking regionally as well, folks. Look what happened in Trinidad and Tobago. Quite recently, a woman went home to her sweet, beloved Trinidad for carnival. Look, story now. Her body was found in a Rima overnight. Yep, police are investigating the circumstances under which this 58-year-old woman, I think it is, 85-year-old woman, my apologies, lost her life. They're investigating all of the circumstances surrounding that. Never an easy day, folks. Never an easy day. And we're watching this. As we have more on this, folks, we're going to bring it to you. You know, you think you meet someplace, but you don't know what you don't know. While you yet knew, you still knew nothing. Yeah, but the things that I don't know that frighten me. That frighten me real. The things that I don't know. And our thoughts and prayers with her family, folks. With her family, our thoughts and prayers are with them. And this is Hyacinth Gardiner of Line Boulevard, Santa Rosa, where her body was found lying on the ground. Parts of the home appear to be ransacked. Police are investigating. Yep. Soon somebody trying something with you, folks. When the fight 9-2, let's get through a couple of things very quick. And then we're coming to the strike. You see the people you usually see next to you. Sit down, you're on the balcony. Where are you? You're in the Coliseum. You're in the stadium. Where are you? Which part you feel? Brace it over. Yep. Carnage on the work sites. This creeping up. You know, work site accidents. An excavator, Lennox McPherson, lost his life today, folks. Lost his life. The Ministry of Labor said to be investigating. But you know, once you got Joe, you got to get some turpentine there to move things along. This is one of the things we're tracking at Thanks and Prayers and Lennox McPherson's family. We're seeing an uptick workplace accidents. For what's happening to our industrial relations and management and health and safety and those things that we used to champion. Those things that we used to champion. I see we falling a little bit behind. Look, story here now. We're in the 592, folks. Taxi driver robbed of 6 million plus in jewelry. What's this fella doing this kind of man? Robson, your name calling. Robson, your name calling. They promised us a crime prevention plan. We still holding. Robson, your name calling. Any day in this country. Soon come home. Trouble. Soon you come. Folks, them boys ain't taking no rest, you know. The jagabats, the trench crappos, the tadpoles, and the cricketers. They're taking a rest. That's why we see Priya with your Gucci bag and thing. Priya with your Gucci bag and thing. Go we there, folks. Priya with your Gucci bag and thing. It's animal farm out here, you know. What animal farm? Priya with your Gucci bag. Teachers, where the teachers at? When you can get your Gucci bags and so on. When you can get your Gucci bags and such and so forth. Folks, where the all money going? Look what happening at the aquatic center. The state and the poor. Oh, you won't bury a dog in there. You won't bury a dog in the aquatic center. Folks, what's happening in this country? What's going on in this place? Biggest budget ever, 1.146 trillion. Trillion with a capital trill. What's happening when this money going in the pool? It's filthy. Ramson, your name call. Who shared their life tonight? I gotta fight some of y'all. They'll punch in your throat, bite off piece of ears. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji button, folks, and let me go down. Come on, let's go down. Walk into that aquatic center. You won't bury your dog in there. Much more dip your toe. Let's have a little poisoning. Let's make for the smallpox. All put together. Look what's happening. There's the aquatic center right opposite where the National Assembly sits. My God. Mike Charles. What's up? Where all this money going? Friends, family, and favorites. That's what I tell y'all. It's Bear Animal Farm out here. Bear Animal Farm. Look, we're gonna drill down. We can drill down into that in a subsequent program. Tomorrow morning, perhaps, we can drill down. There's so much. What's happening there? Folks, I see COVID there. I see leptospirosis. All of that. Who's sharing the life? Who's gonna smash the emoji? Try not to how you fall one of y'all, you know, to somersault. They want y'all to share the life, smash the emoji, but let me go down the road now. You take your blood pressure tablet yet? Remember the doctor said, take your blood pressure tablet. You're not on the old foot yet. Please, I'm going to fill in. Okay, I got to calm down. Folks, what's happening in the aquatic center? What's happening there? My one good foot. What's happening there, folks? You won't leave the same way. You go to the aquatic center. We're watching that child, your name calling. Folks, were you on the protest line? Y'all better come out and support the teachers. Don't leave the teachers alone on the protest line in this animal farm. Y'all don't do it. Y'all see Priyansh Gucci back today. I saw police vehicles going into school, checking to see how many students came, how many teachers are there. What happened in this country, folks? Folks, the Guyana Teachers Union strike. Today was day one. They told him it was coming. Y'all share the live yet? Now it's time. That's the cue. Right there. Pick up the pace. Right there's the cue. You share the live yet? You smash that emoji button, folks. Let's give you guys a snapshot. This strike was nationwide. It was massive, folks. Thousands of teachers turned out for this strike, turned up on the protest line in solidarity with the Guyana Teachers Union, led ably by Mark Light, supported in the General Secretary role. President Mark Light, Coretta McDonald's, their General Secretary, and a number of other persons. I want to thank the leadership of the union. It's only good leadership, you know, in a union. Everybody doing their bit can pull off such a successful and massive strike today, folks. Brace it over. Brace yourself. Look at a snapshot of what happened today across the nation where this Guyana Teachers Union strike was concerned. Oh my God, I can imagine emergency meeting at Shipton Ryan Chandra Paul Drive tonight. Emergency meeting, the Jagabats, Transcrappers, Tadpoles, and Cricketers. Meeting, folks, the Philistine, the Pharisees, the Transcrappers meeting, emergency meeting. Take a look, a snapshot of what the teachers strike look like today across the country.
Tell me how I was so high with 6.5. me how my son with 6.5.
Tell me how I'm gonna survive with 6.5. Healthy life. Healthy life. Healthy life. Fair work. Student private teacher working, make it make sense. Student private teacher working, make it make sense. Overwork, underpaid, 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 make it make sense. What do you underpaid, make it make sense?
We are here at Warburg Primary School. In the background, as you can see, the cameraman could give a shot. Yeah, so we are here protesting. We stand here with the union. According to my card here, we stand with our union. And as of today, the teachers, we are on strike. Some teachers, they are not here because they are in full support. They are at home, but they have their own work, maybe in the farm or somewhere in Warpuka village. Now, as you can see on my right hand side, we have Miss there with Solidarity Forever. So which sends a big message out there to the audience, viewers. Seeing this, we have Sora and Miss here with we need collective bargaining now. Right now, we teachers need bargaining because the prices in our community is very high. For 1 pound sugar, 1 pound sugar is $300 in Warpuka right now. So imagine the little salary you're getting, that would be too less, right? So if you look at my card here, I said that just now we started our union, that's GTU, and Miss here the dollar sign speak for itself, right? So viewers, thank you very much for, as I said, the teachers, some of them they are not here, but they are in full support. I'm Dr. Durga, SM and General Counsel Rep, Central Essequibo. We are here because of one phrase, collective bargaining, and that will cover everything. For the past 3 years, we've been trying to get onto the ministry to listen to us. We have penned a lot of letters, and until now, no response. So it was surprising when we heard the Labor Minister was saying that we have not followed. We have been following the protocol for 3 years, for the past 3 years. And so today, we have decided that we will take industrial action, and industrial action in this form of strike. And so after today, our
That's right.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
Georgetown was the epicenter. We want to thank Newsroom for some of that footage there. 6.5 can work. And Georgetown, as you know, was the epicenter for the protest action undertaken by the Guyana Teachers Union today. On the ground, we met up with the General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta McDonald, folks. We met up with her, Camille Cox. Camille, was it you there? Ismir, was it you? Good to see you, Camille, and Natasha, and Rosetta, and all the other folks joining us, Leon Blair, and Margot. Folks, as I said, met up with the General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Member of Parliament. Yep, Member of Parliament, Ms. McDonald, Coretta McDonald. Folks, this is some of what Coretta told us on the ground. Breakdown, folks, in front of the Ministry of Education. Take a look. Take a listen. The teachers strike, folks, today. You better put on your shoes tomorrow. Parents, you better get on the ground with the teachers tomorrow. Come on the ground with the teachers, parents.
General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union, Coretta McDonald, you have a unique position in all of this. You see it from both sides, as a legislator in the National Assembly, and of course as a General Secretary of the Guyana Teachers Union. Have you heard anything over the last 2 weeks of the budget debates and scrutiny of the estimates that says to you the government has something positively different for teachers over the next year?
Well, let me start from this aspect. I remember when this political party that is now government, when they were campaigning, we saw all those flyers posted all over with when they get into government that they are going to be offering teachers and public servants 50% salary increases. We're still waiting for that to be materialized. We also heard from the president, who was then the shadow minister for housing, in his passionate debate to Parliament when he said, when they get into office, they will offer more than 20%. We are still waiting to receive that. But on the aspect of being in Parliament, we spent 2 weeks there, and we have not heard anything that speaks to making the life of teachers easy. And when I say that, I'm saying personally for the teachers, not the teachers in classroom receiving cash grants to make their classrooms child-friendly and to be able to provide for their students extra pencils, extra markers, maybe an exercise book or a water bottle or something like that. We're not talking about that. We are here talking about benefits for the teachers themselves. We have not heard anything like that. What we heard coming out in Parliament is training programs. And some of these training programs, they have no weight, none whatsoever, because we've gotten the complaints from our members where they are on the GOLD program. They're doing programs with some universities in India. They can't even understand what the lecturers are saying. By the time they get halfway of the program, the teachers don't know whether they pass or they fail. Teachers' grades are not submitted, and then the accreditation of the program is not there by our own Ministry of Education, the National Accreditation Council. So that in itself is a burden for teachers. We have asked for duty-free concessions for our teachers. We have in excess of 16,000 teachers across this country. And you know what this government is saying? When some senior teachers, when they get to 52 years old, they're going to be offering them duty-free concessions. Now, at 52 years old, tell me, you want those teachers to go and make what you want them to do on the roads? And you know the conditions of our roads, one, and the jam-packed situation and the juggling that people got to do to drive along this road. That's one. We talk about in our proposal, and let me back up. We have been extremely patient with this government. Since 2020, we submitted our proposal to them, and they have not heeded that proposal. They've not even called. They didn't have the decency to call us to sit at a table for one day. We have, when they hear about us embarking on industrial action, quickly they call a hurry-up meeting to brush through a couple of things, and that's the end of it. A rush through talk, and we will get back to you. A rush talk, and we will get back to you. So we have not been getting anything coming from this government. In Parliament, we heard about all these schools that they're going to be building. Now, I said then, it seems as if the Ministry of Education and the Minister of Education, it seems as if in their minds, constructing buildings will resolve the crisis in education. And if that's their thought, then we should not have a Ministry of Education. We should have two ministries of public works if buildings is what is important. Now, you're building these buildings. Who do you put into these buildings? If you don't put proper systems in place, who are you going to put into those buildings? The children alone? And when you look at the buildings that they're talking about, if you visit across this country, some of those buildings are not even worthwhile. Huge sums of monies are being spent. The furnishing that they have in some of our schools that are existing. 2 mornings, the legs are falling off. But again, let's come back to what transpired in the National Assembly. It was a whole gimmicks, a whole clown show, let me put it that way. Because the fact is, when you look at the provisions that is given for you to question those estimates and the limited time you have and the kinds of impositions that the speaker is imposing on you, it means that they don't have anything really in the budget for teachers. And so they don't want you to question what is in there. They don't offer you the time to question. And when you do ask the questions, they don't give the answers. They carry you around a whole long story. So Parliament has become a waste of time and a clown show right now. And in that budget, that $1 trillion budget, the largest ever in Guyana and maybe in the Caribbean, 40% of that budget we know is debts. And in this oil-rich nation, we still cannot afford to bring our teachers' salary to the level of their counterparts in the Caribbean, which is sad. And if we look at some of our Caribbean territories, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Martin, they don't have the kinds of resources we have here, but yet we can't pay our teachers here. I want to say to you finally that this government is anti-working class. They don't care about the workers of this country. They're only interested in what you can do for them, but not what they can do for you. We would have thought that by now, the government would have been ready to talk with us just the same way they're talking with GAU. But they're not interested in talking to this block of workers because it is presumed that this block of workers don't support them. And in order to keep their support base and to keep their numbers for elections, they're voting for election, they prefer to flood GAU with plenty monies to keep that voting block as against paying teachers. Now, I'm hoping that in all of this, that good sense will prevail when the Ministry of Education and the government look across this country and see what has happened today. That good sense will prevail and they would want to talk to the teachers union. We are open and ready to talk with them, but we want to talk sensibly. That's one. Two, we want to see implementation 1 or 2 weeks after we would have spoken. And after that, we can continue in our deliberations. But we don't want them to come to tell us we're going to talk with you. And then they drag us out just the same way they've dragged us out from 2020 to this time.
Yeah, you brought up, I know you have a busy morning and I want to let you go, but just before we do that, you talk a little bit about infrastructure and teachers. We saw over the last couple of days a school at Bartica where students are inside yet outside all at the same time at the mercy of the elements. And I think the minister went up to Paramakatoy, I think it was over the weekend, to look at another issue that a teacher had to highlight on social media before they remedy it. Why this reactive approach by the ministry?
Well, the thing is, the minister spends too much time on social media rather than addressing the issues that are in school. And the thing is, she doesn't only spend the time looking at the highlights that persons are putting there, but she's spending time to abuse them out on Facebook rather than saying thank you for the information and looking to address them. So because of that approach, teachers have decided that in order to have my issue dealt with, I have to put it on Facebook. So we saw St. John the Baptist. We saw the teacher at Paramakatoy. We saw another teacher in one of the hinterland areas showing the street, the dam that she has got to walk on and how far she has got to walk. We saw the issue at New Campbellville Secondary School, St. Pius Primary School. We saw St. Gabriel's Nursery School, Mackenzie High, where a teacher slid down the step and broke both of her hands. Now, why is it? And we have these issues spread all across the country.
That's some flea infestation.
You got flea infestation. 13 schools in region number 10 would have been closed. And there's no attempt to deal with these issues. But you're still talking about infrastructure. Now, if we go again to infrastructure, we see the minister talking about secondary schools that they're building. But many of the secondary schools, the minister stopped short to say that we are rebuilding those secondary schools because they burnt them. They were the ones who burnt the secondary schools. And you know what is sad is the fact that the Minister of Education, is now wearing the crown of the worst minister in education, as well as the young lady with the fiery thorns, the minister of God, the goddess of fire. That's what she is now being deemed as. But on a serious note, if the minister were to be serious, then the teachers, like the teachers are saying out here, raise our pay and we will not be here. If she does that, then the teachers will come out. They will remove from in front here and they will return to their schools. If you look around, you're going to see many of our teachers well dressed, but the conditions are not right, so they can't work. And as teachers, we are distributing $45,000 to the children, and we're happy that they're getting that. But you know what? Teachers are receiving $8,000 clothing allowance. Look again, you'll see teachers with slippers because they can't afford to buy a proper shoe. They can't even buy a shoe with the $8,000 because after 2 mornings it's gone, so they might as well buy 2 pairs of slippers. Outside of all of that, the arrogance is what got teachers out here from the Minister of Education. And so she needs to be sensible and act matured. As the minister, act matured. Come and talk with the GTU just the same way you're going to talk to GAU, and we will settle the issues.
Finally, JS, in those talks with the GTU, you've talked about that proposal being submitted, I think, since 2020, if not 2021. Since 2020. What are some of those critical issues in that proposal that you think ought to be met? There's no if there buts.
In that proposal, we looked at increase in salaries. We looked at our debunching, because debunching is a big issue in the teaching sector. Where teachers, all right, let me give you this example. If a teacher graduates from college now, that teacher's salary will be the same salary as a teacher who would have graduated 2 or 3 years ago. And that should not be. We've worked on the entire process for the debunching aspect to be implemented, but the government is still refusing to do this. And this is not yesterday we worked on it. We worked on it since Priya Manik-Chand was minister before. During the coalition's term in office, they started looking at it. When Priya came, she scrapped that. Like everything, she scrapped everything that was done by the coalition then, and she started on a new path. We have the housing revolving project. In that project, we have over $400 million in a bank account between the Ministry of Education and the GTU. Up to a day like today, that project cannot come off the ground. In between 2015 and 2020, the PS then at the Ministry of Education, Vibert Welch, he attempted to form an entire unit at the Ministry of Education, separate unit to deal with the housing project. When Priya returned to office, she scrapped that project. We went to as a matter of fact, we went to several commercial banks, and they're asking for interest on our monies. And when we sat and we looked at that, it was not going to make sense to have our teachers having to pay interest on our own monies. Our final attempt was to go to the Public Service Credit Union. When we approached them and we discussed everything with them, they gave us a proposal that said they were willing to take on this project, to administer this project. When we met with Priya Manik-Chand in 2020, in August of 2020 and September of 2020, Priya Manik-Chand said to us then, as long as Ben is there at the credit union, no monies from the government is going there. So it is clearly showing that they have no interest in doing anything that will benefit teachers. We have the house lot issues. And you know what they're telling our teachers? They must go and line up like everybody else to get a house lot. We've got the issues of additional qualification. If you have additional qualification, that your salary, you must have that allowance. That is an issue. The issue of weekly council is another long drawn out issue. The issue of ratio, teacher to child ratio, that's another issue. Reduction of class sizes, that's another issue. So all of these issues that the ministry is saying they've worked on this and worked on this paper, and they're empty, just like a page without any writing. They have no power, just fancy writings we are seeing there. Now I want to challenge the minister. to point to any school where there is the implementation of the 2 deputies, the 3 SMs or 4 SMs, point to any school where that is operational. In the budget as well, we ask the question about these board schools. We know President College came as a board school, and there's an entire President's College Act. Now we have made Queen's College a board school, the Bishop's High, St. Joseph, Mackenzie High, all these schools across this country, Diamond Secondary, Good Hope, and so on, board schools. But ask how many of those boards are functioning, that's one. And two, ask how many of those schools outside of President's College and Queen's College, ask how many of them are receiving the subventions in those schools. So it's plenty talks and nothing behind. But let me say to the minister, whenever you're ready to come off of social media, we are right here waiting for you. And we are ready to talk seriously. We're not joking around.
Thank you very much, General Secretary.
You're so welcome.
To be right. He running this country. He running this country. Gotta fix it. He gotta fix it for us as teachers. He gotta fix it. Go to their house. You can't even buy a Piccadilly. You can't even buy a Piccadilly. You gotta fix it. We gonna shut the schools down. You gotta fix it. Masses, you're back today. Rock today. Rock today! Rock today! Rock today! Rock today!
Yep, there you have it. The money can't buy a Piccadilly. Fix it. Jack Dio, you got to fix it. Folks, we're following the latest on the Guyana teachers strike. Day one. We can get all the news every day right here. Don't go no place else. Or only other credible and valid places. Folks, we also spoke with the president, El Presidente of the Guyana Teachers Union, the one and only Mark Light. We spoke to him as well, folks. We spoke to President Mark Light of the Guyana Teachers Union, folks, and we want to share with you what the president of the Guyana Teachers Union had to tell us about this strike. We had to go in the weeds and unpack the issues. We spoke with President Mark Light, as we said, of the Guyana Teachers Union. Take a look and take a listen. GTU President, Mr. Mark Light, you're on the protest line. You have brought out the teachers. What are you guys asking for this morning? Lay it out for us. What is this strike about?
Sherrod, simply put, to have the process of collective bargaining respected. The Guyana Teachers Union laid on the table our proposal spanning 2019-2023. 2023 has come and gone, and we don't have an inked agreement. And we find that this is a serious breach to the labor laws. It is a serious breach to our constitution. And we have given the Ministry of Education and the government enough opportunity to engage us. They have had enough time to present a counter proposal. Instead, they are deciding what they want to give. And most significantly, we are concerned about the salary increases, because that is what matters at the end of the day for all teachers. The union don't negotiate for a part of the teaching population. We negotiate for all teachers to benefit, irrespective of their status.
Mr. Light, for the ordinary citizen, talk to us about the importance of collective bargaining in this process.
Well, the process of collective bargaining is a very important one. Let me give a typical example. You know, the president had invited selected teachers to be at office, State House. And those teachers were talking about allowances. Give us more allowances, we'll get more money in our pockets. But in hindsight, they didn't realize that your allowances fall off when you retire. Your allowances would not allow you to get additional benefits in terms of your increased pension as well as your gratuity. It falls off because it's an allowance. And so they don't have that knowledge to understand that while you may think you are benefiting, in the long run you are losing, because this is not part of your salary. And so the union as a body that is responsible for collective bargaining, we look holistically at what is put on the table. We understand some of the clauses that are going to be presented, and we are prepared to counter those whenever they are presented. So collective bargaining allows for the protection of the ordinary rank and file member who may not be affiliated with labor relation matters.
Mr. Light, you brought up that important meeting at State House with President Irfan Ali and teachers, sidestepping the union. I think it's widely acknowledged that the president can talk to whoever he wishes to talk.
Definitely.
But teachers in this country have signed on to a union. What are your thoughts generally of that approach, of the president meeting with teachers one by one? And did he meet with all the teachers in this country?
Well, like I said, the teachers were selected by the departments of education, and it was a hush-hush thing. Now, we have vented our frustration and our disapproval of that, because as president, I am the one that leads the negotiating team. I was not at that meeting.
Were you invited?
An invitation was sent to me the night before the meeting, but the union did not see it right, because we want the negotiating arm of the union and not selected members of the teaching fraternity. So we have voiced our disapproval for such approach, and we believe that it is a clear indication that the union, the Guyana Teachers Union, is being sidestepped on financial matters when it comes to our multi-year agreement.
Has the government met you on any of those issues that you're looking for in this multi-year agreement over the past 3 years?
Sometime last year, I think midway last year, we had 2 meetings. The meeting was led by the Minister of Governance, along with 2 other ministers, Education and Public Service. But the union had to supply again the multi-year agreement to the meeting. Because if you're coming to negotiate, you must know what we have laid on the table. So we attended that meeting and then a subsequent one, and thereafter there was no meeting. And we raised the concern about the financial matters in particular, because there seemed to be a position where government negotiates differently, this administration. While the Ministry of Education may look at policies, financial matters may be in the realm of another group of persons. And we recognize that, and that is why we've been calling for whichever minister the government appoints to take responsibility and charge of that body to negotiate our financial matters. But apart from those 2 meetings, we've had none. And we find that on each occasion, the meetings did not achieve anything.
President Light, was there a great expectation this year in the light of a 1.146 trillion budget than years past that this divide between the teachers and their pay, they do fantastic work, the regional counterpart might be closed somewhat given a huge budget that we have this year? Was there a greater expectation on part of the union?
Yes, each year we expect to hear what our teachers will get early enough. And with a larger budget, the union only heard about the pensioners getting an additional 3,000 and how much more the children will get, but nothing for the teachers, and that we find unacceptable. All right, because if you have the largest budget, then obviously you look for the critical sectors to ensure that those people that put you on the map as a nation. And like I said, we have been topping the Caribbean in our key advanced exams. We've been topping the Caribbean in our CSEC number of subjects. Everywhere you go as an educator, persons are asking how the children are writing 27 subjects. How are they coping? So Guyana is on the map because teachers are working with those children. Our national grade 6, we have seen posts about improved performances in different subject areas. Who is causing that to happen? It's the man in the classroom. You can have the best policy, the best scheme, the best notes and lesson plan. The implementers of the curriculum are the teachers. And that is why we're saying teachers must be remunerated adequately. Our compensation package must be negotiated by the body that the teachers have elected. And by the way, we have not forced anyone to be members of the union. If a teacher joins the profession and wishes to be a member, a form is made available and they apply voluntarily. I just want to put that on record.
Excellent. On that same note, what do you say to a government that is pushing back to say that this strike action might be illegal? What are those things that you have ticked off, perhaps, that ensures that this is a legal strike? And then I want to take you in another area. For those parents, for instance, who are wondering what happens now, this is day one of the strike, what can they look forward to? What happens in the days coming? I want you to talk about that aspect. So on the illegal strike first.
We rubbish the thought that it's illegal because there is a memorandum of understanding signed between the Ministry of Education and the Guyana Teachers Union that clearly articulates what steps should be taken and when. We recognize that there was a breakdown in the talks of financial benefits for teachers, and therefore we requested through a formal document to the Chief Labor Officer, as advised in that very document, that we want conciliation. The Chief Labor Officer was expected to bring the two sides together to ensure that, let's hear from the union why you want conciliation. Let's hear from the ministry. He failed to do that. Instead, he wrote us saying, in his view, he doesn't see the need for conciliation. The said document said if there is a failure at the conciliation process, which should have been initiated, in fact, because he did not convene a meeting, it means that that conciliation process failed. We wrote in November, 14 days after asking for arbitration, which was the next step. He failed to respond to us. In fact, we don't know what he did with our letters. Until he got the letter saying that there will be a strike action in January, then is when he requested for us to resubmit a copy. Excellent. And then again, in his view, he doesn't see the need for a strike. What is his view about? This is about him engaging the two parties and see how the matter can be resolved amicably. The Labor Ministry has failed to do its work.
Point taken. What can members of the public, especially parents, expect in the coming days? This is Monday, the 5th day of February, day one of the strike.
Parents can expect that the teachers will not be returning to the classroom until this matter is resolved. We have given a 2-week window, and we remain firm, we remain strong in our position. We believe over 3 years is the adequate time to have addressed the concerns of the union, and we ask that good sense prevail because our children are out there. If you go through all Georgetown and the other outlying regions, children are not at school, and if they are, they're doing nothing because most of the teachers are either at home on strike or they're on the picket line, right? So we are saying to parents, see with us, and you need to join us to put some pressure on the administration to meet the union.
I've noticed a large turnout of teachers on the picket line in places like Anna, Regina. I haven't had a chance to see really and truly a national SWAT. But do you guys have a sense that it has been successful?
Yes, the first day, tremendous success in every region. Because teachers understand this is not a political matter. This is not a religious matter. This is not a racial matter. This is a matter relating to bread and butter, as we would put it, as trade unionists. And so the teachers, irrespective of their political persuasion, right, they are saying, we've had enough of the promises that have failed. And we are standing resolutely with our union. And so you will see the support we've gotten in some of the areas like Region 2, Region 8, Region 9, Region 1, Region 3, Region 6, Region 5. It's overwhelming. And this is only day one. So you could imagine those teachers who are thinking whether they should be part, they're going to turn out tomorrow because as the protests and the strike goes on, more people will come on board.
Congrats to the union thus far, President Mark Light.
Thank you very much.
GTU President, Mr. Mark Light, you're on the protest line. Yep, I love what the president of the Guyana Teachers Union, Mark Light, it's not political. Parents join in putting pressure on the administration. That's what he said as Guyana teachers strike, folks. Day one, he said it's not political. And I know lots of folks have been trying to say that this got some political overtones. They would like for that to happen. They would like for that to happen. They say, oh, it's the parliamentary opposition instigating the teachers. Oh, it's their brainwashing the teachers. You know, and our report says, no, teachers on the front line. We're saying, no, it's not so. Take a look.
When the teacher strike was announced, both the Ministry of Labor and the Education Ministry contended that any strike would be illegal. There was also the threat of sanctions against the teachers. Today, there were teachers who took strike action in 2014 during the tenure of the coalition government in the protest line.
You not out here in 2018 picketing. You lost any money with your salary and so on?
No, we didn't lose any money from our salaries.
So all of you.
We want to get a better version of that. The teachers say the strike is not political. A better version of that, folks. Yeah, do we have it? I think we have it.
When the teacher strike was announced, both the Ministry of Labor and the Education Ministry contended that any strike would be illegal. There was also the threat of sanctions against the teachers. Today, there were teachers who took strike action in 2014 during the tenure of the coalition government in the protest line.
You not out here in 2018 picketing. You lost any money with your salary and so on?
No, we didn't lose any money from our salaries.
So all of you pickets and then go back to work. The government didn't victimize everybody.
No salary was cut in 2018. And I'm hoping that the Ministry of Education do the right thing and don't cut anybody's salary.
Yes.
But they ensure that these things that we're asking for is fixed. Once those things are fixed, we're back in the classroom tomorrow.
Yes.
That was former Minister Simona Brooms and the teacher who was on the strike called in 2018. He said that once the outstanding matters are duly settled, the education minister doesn't have to talk with the teachers. And some teachers are upset that the education minister has dubbed the strike political.
Me too, because in 2018, when she came out and protested the same AP and UFC, it wasn't political. It was, we must not be hypocritical and we must stop buying into Jabio's narratives.
Well, I used to let people demoralize him.
Now we have to remind them.
The situation was the same in Linden. The teachers assembled outside the education ministry branch office and chanted labor songs.
Yep, the Guyana teachers strike, folks. Massive strike today across Guyana. Day one is just day one, and we got it all for you right on this side. That being said, good folks, that being said, that's going to do it for us tonight. So long from this end. Share the live, smash that emoji button. If you're coming back to watch us later on, do the same, folks. Share the live, smash that emoji button. That's the price of admission to the stadium, to the Coliseum, for those prized and prime seats that you guys hold. That's the price of it. Alison Cortez, Leon Blair, and Dan, and Rosetta, Fidel Albert, and Charles Nelson, Stacey and Stoll, all you beautiful, fantastic folks joining us tonight. That's our time. That's our program. Share your life, folks. Smash up that emoji button for us. Yep. Julia, and all the other folks who are joining us. Julia. Good to see you there. We trust that you guys are well. You've had a great day. You have had a fantastic day. Rastaman, Alson Cortez, Rondo Gordon, Desiree Manuel. We're going to see you guys right back here on the next one. That's our time, folks. Stay safe. Stay safe.